All right, how's it going? John Meyer here talking about Majorem paradigm. And it's the 22nd of June, 2024. Just going to talk about topics I feel are relevant to Majorem paradigm and try to spread some good influence. Good influence. I should have filled up my water bottle. It's okay. I got the reserve. If you give me a sec. There it is. Little pro tip for you. That's my lock key, my Nalgene, and then I got this gallon gear. It's got pockets and stuff, and I put this on the strap of a fanny pack, carry it around my shoulder. It's a good compromise. Okay. Speaking of Majorem paradigm, or speaking of good compromises, let's talk Majorem paradigm. It's a compromise in the sense that you kind of have to sell. It's kind of like that Bible story where the dude sells everything he owns to get the pearl, the nice pearl, because he wanted the pearl. This is a pearl. My tummy's a rumbling. Look, the Bible's great. The Bible has done the Bible and religion has done countlessly more things than I have. For the greater good. But there are just a few pitfalls in religion that I feel don't capture everyone's attention and fear of what death might be like, how bad death might be. There's a saying, and it goes, what happens on earth echoes for eternity. What you do echoes for eternity. And that's true, but only if you reverberate it. Only if people reverberate the things that happened. If everyone just lays down, and I mean, this is not going to happen because that's just the nature of the beast. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be as good. There's a reason life is like this. And, whether it was created by an all-powerful being or it was just a big bang or what, I'm gonna kind of extend my political opinion here, and I'm gonna say we probably won't ever know. Probably won't ever know. If you know that. Maybe sometime in the, but at least for the time, maybe sometime in the distant future, but at least for the time being, it's a gray area. One thing that's not a gray area is Majorem paradigm. It is rigorously tested to be effective and good. Now, here's the thing. This transition is gonna hurt. It is gonna hurt bad. Okay, something that I was kind of honestly I was trying to make people feel better and avoid these, keep it kind of light and fun, but it fell short. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. And it's something that's taking time and reflection for me to sort of come across. But it will hurt. It will hurt. And let's unbox this. What specifically is going to be hurting? What specifically is going to be hurting? I'm a little, again, I'm falling short on my world history, but probably most, if not all, this is a very specific question that could be answered really easy, but I don't know the answer to it right now. Wars, okay? Countries are proud of their wars, okay? We, our flag, the American flag, the symbolism, the symbolism is of the blood of people that we love. And I've had family in the military, and I love the military. I thought about being in the military. I support the military. But if I had the option to get rid of the military because there was no more wars, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd much rather have them doing something else. I don't want war. And I think deep down they'd rather not have war either. But war is necessary. War is necessary. I'd go fight. I wouldn't dodge a draft. But yet, it's I don't know. I see videos from people in the military all the time. But, basic training, that's a long time. They say you can't have your phone then, and there's other training and mission, and it's a full-time job, and it's a hard job. I imagine it's very difficult. There's different jobs and everything, but I gotta play my strengths here a little bit, because I know no one else is really willing to put their their entire reputation and possible danger to talking about this, because it is such a sensitive topic. It is unbelievably sensitive. Because they have to deal with my political disagreements with their political paradigms. And so it's kind of like a bad deal. It's a bad deal. So that's why I'm here. I'm trying to explain why it's a really good deal. It's a great deal. And I mean, usually there's a clear winner to a debate, right? Like if you look at court, if you look at the justice system, Roe v. Wade, that's the only one I can come up with right now. But they hit the gavel and they say, this is right, this is the way we're going, it's off, And I'm so confident. But here's the thing. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. What am I supposed to do? Sue the state of whatever or the federal government for not making this, common law? I don't know. I don't know. People like it. People got behind it, but there's pushback from all these different entities, and probably I assume it's been discussed in, the presidential realm. I'll just say that. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. But I've gotten some strong emotions out of this. And people are real weird about it. That's all I can say. Real weird. It's I think it's starting to come to a head though. I'm starting to figure out kind of the different intonations that I need to deal, basically. Let's talk about sex for a little bit. I think the backdoor entry is the way to go for casual relations. I think I'm starting to get a lot better at this legalese stuff. Is this legalese? Is this doublespeak or legalese? Or should doublespeak be part of legalese? Who knows? Anyway, for both men and women, backdoor entry is good. I've bought contraceptive and used contraceptive and been with girls who use their own contraceptive, and it's great, it's fun, and it's good, but sometimes the contraceptive either fails or it's harsh on especially the women's body, and I'm not trying to be a white knight here, and I'm not, I'm not about to cut ties with someone just because they have casual, non-procreative front door entry. Oh, jeez. But that's the way I'm sitting on right now. Plus, let me go into people that are probably like, yeah, it's so gross, blah blah blah. Okay, let's discuss a few key benefits. And while we're at it, let's just loop in here. Same side relations. Okay. These relations, okay, they're sensitive. Are they not sensitive? They're sensitive. And I'm gonna make a case for casual relations just in general, okay? Same side and across the spectrum relations. There are communities. I don't know what spectrum this is, but I'm gonna lay it out like this. There are communities that are let's lay it out like this. Communities that are sort of sworn, indoctrinated, they practice no relations, okay? This would be monks, priests, nuns, etc. Then there's sort of the devout, religious communities. No contraceptive, no premarital relations, monogamous their entire lives, so at least that's the ideal. Then you start to get sort of outside the book a little bit, So they adhere to the book or the indoctrinations or the practices that their communities are sort of centered around and highlighted as the sort of moral foundation of their reputation and their conscience. Sort of like progressive, like progressive towards finding the new things that need to be interpreted by the old way. So we're seeing this big with the internet. I guess contraceptive could be one. New drugs. I hope you understand what I'm getting at. Problems arise that people jump on and it helps them. And in order for the institutions to sort of integrate, they need people to sort of be outside what's going on inside their thing. And it's not something that's necessarily done intentionally, but people sort of split the difference and they compromise. So that would be our third group. And it's a good group, and sometimes these could be broken up into way different. I mean, it literally just, there's different characteristics that people take and they run with, and others that they don't. There's no other way of putting it. But this is a simplification. Okay, that leads to sort of where I'm at, and something that is sort of bound to be all these tiers are sort of bound to be affected by this. Okay. Then you get people who are separated from any sort of moral compass based on either one person or a set of people. And they are sort of more, they're less tight knit because they're not, there's not a big umbrella like a religion or anything like that. They might even dabble in religion a little bit. I dabble, but for the most part, they're sort of, just kind of drifting around. Maybe if you ask them, they could pin it down to one that's like, I think that's probably better. But now that this is being integrated, things are, I think, changing. I really do think they're changing. And there's a lot of shame being thrown out. A lot of shame being thrown out about how casual relations are bad. But the thing about one of the things that makes America so great is capitalism. Now it has intonations of just straight capitalism, and it also has intonations of communism, a little bit of communism, more, definitely I'd say more capitalistic. You could argue many different ways, but it's not really the point of what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at here is if something is not good, it is sort of punished by its environment if it's not directly punished. It's sorry, I just need a sec to regroup here. Can I say that? I'm just gonna say that. Let me grab a drink real quick. I'm sitting up in my chair now because things are getting interesting. You know, things are getting interesting. Things inevitably are, maybe in a world maybe in a perfect world nobody makes mistakes. We're definitely way far off from that. If I mean, how crazy would that be if everything was perfect? And oh gosh, that'd be that. But I mean, you got to strive for something, right? But in order to get there, we got to get rid of things that aren't that good, right? And the thing about, if you've ever been, I went to college, okay, but if you've ever been in a bar or something, the people who are refined, who make a lot of money, who are confident, in shape, you can they're not stressing their body out, they're well balanced. They tend to get the most, let's call it play, is what people say. Okay? They get the most play. They get the most relations, okay? And you can take a look at that from the outside and be like, that is just so wrong. They're making each other feel bad by playing favorites, and they just need to pick a partner for life, and everything will be fine. Well, it could be fine, but it's not. I think things would be a lot better if there was a sort of safe. I mean, it could be regulated. It might need to be regulated. I don't know. I'm not in charge, but it's an idea. It's somewhat regulated. HIV. You have to tell someone if you have HIV. That's a regulation. There's no rule book about that. It's sort of just kind of out there. I guess if you get, a positive, test result, then you just sort of learn it. And there might be a reason why that's intentionally vague. I'm sure that this has come across the desk of someone important. You gotta learn these laws. It's a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject because there's a lot going on. You can't really blame leadership here for sort of passing this off, because there is a lot of stuff going on. But it's important to look at the sort of inherent consequences that arise from a deferment of a decision like this, so that we as a people can come up with something important to put on their desk. This is the best we could do for the time being with what we have. These are the specialists. These are the consequences. Think about it, and so that way it's not on them, and it's a win-win. They recognized it and they implemented it. These are important themes, subjects, So back to to summarize a little bit, it's sort of I think it's good. I think it's a great motivator, and there's a lot of this is something that I think is just such a nightmare, and I don't know how else to say it, but you can be so close to someone and have that same paradigm of monogamy and wait until marriage. Everything's the same. You've read the harsh things about how the man owns the woman and the man's in charge, and you might even say okay, I'm gonna work and you're gonna stay at home and take care of the kids and take care of the kids and take care of the house and everything, and then you get married, and that honeymoon happens and it's like, ooh, stuff starts to arise and things are tense and then all, people change and it's like, well, it's like, and this is just the decision I made. Don't get me wrong. If you can power through that is amazing. But at least from where I'm sitting, that's too much anxiety for me. I'm down to hear. I'm bound to hear some different different opinions on that. And those things arise, I think, because a lot of times sex is hard. Sex is hard, especially when you're first starting out. You don't know what the other person's feeling. You're just going off of, you want to be the best that you can be, but the best you can be is sometimes often very not so gentle, if you can imagine, you know what I mean? And it's and not so. It's people love to say man, this is getting into it. Let's go back to this real quick. It's not so gentle, right? In order to really get a feel for good relations, I mean, you just can't go red line the first time, especially for the person, receiving, you can't go, should I say it? Balls to the wall? Should I say that? Is that okay? Balls to the wall? This sort of alpha, dominant, I mean, sort of like indoctrination, but it's not. I mean, it's good. You gotta be able to garner some respect. You gotta be able to garner respect, but it's sometimes a very toxic thing. I'm not gonna say it. Here's an alternative, and see, this is where it just gets. I mean, strong emotions are about to get kicked up in this next conversation because when is it appropriate for a human being to start having sex, right? And I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I mean, it's not that brutal. I mean, it's true, but that old saying, "What you do echoes in eternity." What you do echoes in eternity. I was one to break all sorts of rules as a kid because I'm a kid. Well, when I'm 18, I'm an adult. Oh yeah, I was just a kid back then. That was me, 100%, 110%. That was me. I was doing illegal activities because I knew when I was a minor, not crazy breaking into houses and punching people and shooting at people and no. This harmless stuff, but stuff that's still frowned upon and sort of, I mean, looking back now, I realize how much of a anti-establishment reputation I garnered, even though I thought I was being fine. There's a bunch of things that rock story with the car. That was one. No one got hurt. But still, just the intonations of it were terrible, and also like I was under 18 and I was drinking, and Buddy needs a ride home, and it wasn't a lot. I was fine, but I did it, and I feel terrible about it because people saw me but and it's just pressure, like, are you fine? Yeah, dude, I'm fine, but they were worried, it's a worrisome thing. And I recognize that now in a big way, I'll say. Many other things. I was smoking weed, LSD, stuff like that. Nicotine, all underage. So, and kids still get punished for doing underage things, obviously. I knew I could get punished, but, I was willing to accept the consequences. But to sort of circle back to relations here, different parents will sort of give more leeway on enabling and whether that's physically or emotionally their child to engage in these relations. And I don't, there's let's look into the different things that might affect a minor's reputation. First of all, pregnancy is going to be a huge one. Stress on the soon-to-be parents and also the parents, the government system, and if that habit of early pregnancy is carried on, it could be stressful. Now, life is important, needless to say. You shouldn't feel bad about being here. Or having birthed a child early. But this tension for the good feelings that comes out of these relations can be met without the risks of front door entry. That being said, there is a standard of hygiene to uphold. And I'm not going to get into the should I say it, the gory details right now. But it's they're important to look into for the back door. And so therefore the sort of, I mean, you can call it competition, you can call it a lot of things, but let's just call it the relations game for now. How about that? Do I settle with this person either for, I mean, we're just talking about the casual side. That can be sort of a something that motivates people before they're locked in with someone without having faced the trials of the relations that we're talking about. Now, the well, let's talk about what it takes to improve your standing, I guess you could say, in the relations game. Okay. Or at least, so this is both. It's both the what I believe to be important for everyone in a healthy this is let's get into what I think you should do in order to keep a healthy paradigm and therefore a healthy body and therefore healthy relations. One I feel veganism is the best. Okay, this goes for both the house and the people. I'm, well, I'm not gonna do a deep dive on each thing, but you should be both, hygienic, but not overly hygienic to the point where it's, outside of the status quo. And you should live a moral life, because worry and stress and a bad moral standing in society, it leads to, just tension. And that this I think helps with that, basically. Something that also has sort of fueled the relations game and many other dubious but less moral entertainments like me throwing rocks at cars and but I'm gonna stick to the more, the thing about these intimate relations is that they can relieve. Like people get so they get so tied into negative emotions, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, and you know. And so they act in very volatile ways. Dangerous ways oftentimes. There's a kid riding his motorcycle around out there, and people like to push that line of safety, and I've pushed it, and there's moral ways of pushing it, but sometimes it's not so moral, so it's better to stay with things that are safe. There's an appropriate amount, and another point of contention there is drugs, and there's a legal amount, there's laws, and I encourage you to follow the laws, but if you do step outside of it, just know that it's a slippery slope out there. It's a slippery slope, because once you start getting into it with people who are okay with breaking the laws a little bit, you just got a lot closer to people who are willing to break the laws a lot of bit, and that's not something you want. That's something that is and I'm going off my own experience here, but I'm fine still, and I'm not, everything at least seems to be settled. But I've heard stories, and it's no doubt that people do heinous things. Obviously, I mean, they're not just stories. If you haven't been made aware. So drugs is one that is sort of, it's an entryway to scarier things, but drugs can be good. I'm just gonna say it flat out. They can be good. I've done away with them. I don't feel the need to do them anymore. But I understand. I understand it completely, 100%. Just be careful. So, um, yeah. So my basic beliefs are Majorem paradigm for one. This is this has helped me clarify my paradigm and help me feel safe and powerful and um, influential and good looking. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, a few other things that sort of supplement it for me are veganism. You just gotta do it right. Supplements, books, all that jazz. Um, I do my macros mostly, my macronutrients with dry bulk stuff. So, um, you know, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, grain, rice, bread, stuff like that. And then also I have a lot of fruits, vegetables, um, um, mushrooms. There's a saying, G bombs, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. So that's something to go by. Dr. Michael Greger has been great to me. I wish I had a better physique to really show off the power of veganism. I've just been too stressed. I literally have so much going on right now. But they're out there, and you don't need to take steroids to get up there. There are some huge, very fit vegan athletes, and they're awesome. Vegan fitness on Reddit is something I like to go on a lot. Maybe I'll talk about steroids another time. But yeah, then the backdoor entry is sort of it's basically mostly just avoiding the front door from here on out. It's been a great ride with the front door, but I gotta close the front door for a while. Sobriety, that's something that's pretty new to me. Ever since, I've been sort of very lean on that stuff, but it's also, it's out the door. And then Majorem paradigm. Yeah. Got a minute or so. I might go over a little bit, and that's okay. But let's finish up with a little steroid talk. Steroids, okay. There's really two. Steroids change your body very fast. Okay, whether you're going one way or the other, right? Whether you're trying to bulk up and be more, focus on your output, or you can take steroids that get you more input, which is really a common. It's really starting to become more common. And I gotta defer on this one because it's up to you, right? It's up to you, as long as you're being safe and all the other aspects of your life are moral and good, then it's fine. But here's the thing. These consequences, they stay with people. It's not just you can't. I mean, you should not. I mean, I'm not a parent, but you know, I'm gonna defer on this one. But one thing I will close out with that is it's a gray area, and they can be dangerous, and it could be a distraction from feeling your true self, no matter how ugly that might be. But let's finish off with a little dive into the other side of let's go into both of these. Let's start with the output one, the steroids to bulk up. Not only does it help with physical strength, so labor, war would be another one. It also helps with sort of the relations game that's been talked about in this video. Which are, they're valid factors. They are valid factors. So that's up to them. But like I said, you just gotta emphasize the morality and the gentleness. The gentleness, which is sort of which I didn't get into this. I've given I've been known for my input as well as my output. Let's say that, okay? In the sort of relations game context. It's important to be a good person, and growing up, you wanna bring your kids up to be gentle, and as hard as a lesson as this may come across, being the one who's known for their input, I'll just say it that way, because it's sort of scary. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, you get a very realistic feel for what's going on. That being said, none of it's necessary. You can go your whole life without the relations game. You know? So wait as long as you can. Wait till you're grown up. Or that's my or at least close, there's so much work that needs to be done. That having this at the forefront of your mind is not something that having this at the forefront of your mind in your formative years could seriously negatively impact your ability to help your community. I'm going to leave that how it is. That sounds pretty good. A little bit over an hour. So have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.